Yeah, there is actually a penis museum. Oh, hello. Good evening and welcome to Zeke Idden. I am an internet. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new stream with a working live chat. Let's start this again. I apologize about that. So, what are we doing tonight? Well, we're in what looks like my crappy unpainted attic. Actually, it is a museum of culture because over the next few weeks, if this one goes well, we're going to be hosting the top 10 series of shows where I've made up a little crappy list of things that I think should be the top 10 in a particular genre or art form. And you guys in the comments are going to help curate that and come up with, and my phone's going. I really am a professional. One sec. Hi, sweetie. Hello, I'm live on air right now. I don't know if the mic picked that up. Say hello again. Okay, yeah, can I speak to you later?
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so what we're going to do today is the video games episode. Like I say, I've not put much thought into my own top 10 list, so hopefully you guys can come up with some better suggestions. A little bit of housekeeping. As you know, as always with these things, there is a 30-second delay. Also, my internet is not the world's best these days, which is why I haven't done any legitimate live streaming in a while. But here we are. I guess if we can't stream gameplay, at least we can talk about them and have a verbal fisticuffs. And also, so yeah, the stream might go down at any moment, just to let you know. That's just the nature of my internet. And there will be a prize. Whoever can guess my #1 spot. Don't do it just yet. Not just yet. When we get to the moment where I'm about to do the big reveal, whoever's sitting around watching can have a guess, and whoever gets it right will get a prize in the mail. So enjoy that. I hope you've all got some drinks ready. I've got a beer. I think we should get cracking. Oh, Gameplay Jenny might join us later, but I think she's gotten carried away playing an actual video game. Anyway, here we go. I should point out to the people who are watching this after the fact in archive mode, if you haven't, what's going to happen is people are going to come in and out of the chat, and I need to remind them to leave their suggestions of top 10 video games, which I'm going to divert to from my own list. So I will keep on saying that to people who are coming and going. Might get a little repetitive, but what you're going to do, that's the way it's got to be. So, guys, in the chat, hello, we have got Rabbit Heart, Leviticus Daniel, and Kieran so far. Only 4 people watching. Oh, that's the other thing. Other rule, you've got to tweet that you're in the Hangout now and bring some fresh voices to the table to do a bit of curation duties. So, let's get down to it. While I'm waiting for your suggestions, oh, Rabbit Heart's got a couple of jokes. So I'm leaning into the screen because I turned the brightness down so it doesn't reflect in my glasses. But that necessitates me getting closer so I can actually read stuff. I should just turn the brightness up and take off the glasses, I guess, and then I'll be back to the same level of vision, I guess. Anyway, let's begin. Let's do the top 10 exhibition of video games for the top 10 museum. I don't have many surprises on this list. They're all very highly acclaimed games. There might be a few that you disagree. Well, there's probably going to be a load that you disagree with, but no real surprises. It was tough. So many I wanted to put in here. I'll tell you what doesn't make the list before I do number 10. Street Fighter 2 didn't make the list. Tekken 3 didn't make the list. I desperately wanted to put those in, but I couldn't. Lemmings was going to be a weird one that I nearly threw in there. I loved that game when I was a kid to the point where I was obsessed. My parents were telling me the other day that I just wouldn't stop going on about it when it first came out for the Amiga. So, yeah, Lemmings didn't make the list. What else? I don't have Portal on there, I've just noticed. I was umming and ahhing about throwing that in. But let's proceed. Number 10 really isn't a surprise. The only surprise, maybe, is that it's only at number 10. Minecraft. Indeed, I think it deserves a place in the top 10 list because of the number of hours I've gotten out of it. It attracted me a lot of subscribers on YouTube. I don't think the channel would be anywhere near where it is, and I wouldn't have met you fine fellows if it wasn't through the early Minecraft Let's Plays that I did. So that's that. It really is a phenomenon, as well as being genuinely a great game. Guess I'd go as far as saying it's changed my life somewhat. Not to a huge extent, but more so than, say, other games. Yeah, it's really become a thing. I don't know if you guys would disagree with me, but Minecraft does deserve to be on the list, and it is on the list, and it's at number 10 on the list. Jack and Daxter was your obsession as a kid, says Alexi Mazzaro. Hello, Alexi, and welcome. Rabbit Heart was obsessed with Mario. You may be happy with something that's coming up on the list. Yeah, Jack and Daxter was cool, man. I loved that game. A similar game. Well, not a similar game. Is it similar? I guess it is. There's a game called Gex. I don't know if you remember that. That was cool. It was like a 2D platformer. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. Oh, and Crash Bandicoot, I guess, is a similar vein of thing. That was nowhere near the top 10, but Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation 1, that was a thing to behold. I loved that game so much. But as Rabbit Heart's already pointed out, there is the ultimate platformer, and yeah, no surprises. Mario is coming up in a bit. Yeah, Rabbit Heart says Minecraft does deserve to be on the list. I'm guessing because we're on this channel doing this, most of the people here have Minecraft close in their hearts, as it should be. Oh, my obsession was Morrowind also. Hello, new sub. Welcome. It's always nice to see new people. I know a lot of people kind of lurk and just watch videos and don't often comment, much less kind of take time out to watch a live stream. So welcome. It's lovely to have you here. Morrowind, hey? Is that on the list? Hey? If it's not, should it be? That's one thing you guys can chat about ahead of time. Obviously, there is going to be an Elder Scrolls game on this list, but which one should it be? Fight! You guys go for it in the comments. Let me know, because that might be coming up later, and we might have to replace that entry, depending on how we do. Leviticus, Gex did not age well. Did it not? I can imagine it didn't, actually. Oh, I really want to go look that up now. Alexi, any Total War games on the list? I can confirm there are no Total War games on the list, and not only that, I can, to my shame, say that I haven't played any Total War games, I'm afraid. I will also reveal that Battlefield and Call of Duty don't appear on the list. They probably should do if we're doing the top 10 video games, and maybe you guys can persuade me. But obviously this list that I roughly drew up about an hour before we went on air is subjective. You know, it's my own personal top 10. On that note, one thing I did notice that was hilarious. I had a quick look through a few various different sites to see, you know, what names and what titles would be the contenders to pick from. So I looked at a few other people's top 10 and top 50 and top 100 lists. Invariably, the comments were always just people raging about the selections, just like going, "Oh my God, how come you didn't include this, that, and the other?" It's like, guys, if they included every single one of the suggestions in the comments, the list would be 7,000 titles long. And also, you get people like kind of saying, "Oh, who wrote this list? This is garbage. I'm never going to read this website again." It's like, it's a subjective list. It's one author's own piece of prose reflecting what he thinks should be in the top 100 or whatever. There's no way of doing it not subjectively. And even if they get, I have seen this, like they'll get 50 Kotaku editors to sit down and all pitch one entry, and they like debate for days to come up with a big list. And there's still someone in the comments whining. It's like, dude, you can get as many people as you want to literally sit down, all the experts and genius thinkers in the world, to sit down and draw up the definitive list. But oh no, apparently that's not good enough because some guy called Dragon Ball ZZZ992K has disagreed otherwise. Yep, let's throw the list away, guys. Oh, look, Morrowind 69 Loveheart has decided that he doesn't like entry number 47. Shut up, man. Jesus. Anyway, back to subjective opinions. Aber Clark? That's probably not how you pronounce it. Maybe I should just pronounce it ABH Clark. Same, Kieran. In fact, I'm playing it right now. Good man. I missed that game. I've not played that game in quite some time. Older subscribers will know I'm on a Mac, so I'm a little bit limited in what I can play these days. Are these top 10 innovative or just your favorites? Very good question. I think, looking at the list now, for the most part, they are games that kind of really stick with me. Like, if I could only take 10 games away with me to a desert island, these are the ones I'd want to play. Or games that have kind of shaped me as a gamer in some way. That said, I don't think anyone would disagree that these games shouldn't be within a top 50 list, put it that way. The only contention that you guys may have is the order of them, or especially as we get closer to the top spot. So how dare you like what I don't? Yeah, it's just like that, basically, with these articles. Honestly, after this Hangout's done, just click on any random best games ever and look at the comments. It'll drive you wild. Rabbit Heart is also on a Mac. Yeah, we're limited, man. We're the lepers of the gaming world. Hopefully, later on this year, I've said it before in a previous Hangout, I'm going to get a Steam machine, especially given that they've just made a load of announcements on that. I'm not sure. I've never used a Mac. Don't, if you're a gamer. Let's move on, shall we? Number 9. This one maybe is a little more contentious, but it is steeped in gaming lore. See if you can guess it before I say. I'm going to do a long-winded introduction. It's steeped in history. It was a significant turning point for the gaming industry. Some would say, I would say, it has spawned an entirely new genre of gaming. This game was brutal and violent when it first came out in the early 90s. It was a landmark game. It is still being sold today on various ports. Not too long ago, they released an iOS version, which is the bloody best iOS conversion I've ever seen for a game. I am, of course, talking about ID Software's Doom. I played that game. How old was I? I must have been about 10 when it came out. Incidentally, I played it before anyone else for reasons, long story. But my dad worked in a, well, he owned his own business importing video games from Korea. And he knew some people who could get hold of certain things and had ties to certain developers, and one such guy managed to get a copy of Doom before it came out. And I remember, even just as a 10-year-old or 9-year-old, I can't remember how old I was, but I remember sitting there thinking, this is the best thing I've ever played. And I knew enough then to know that it was going to change everything. Yes, I know it wasn't really the first-person shooter. Obviously, you had Wolfenstein. Someone always chimes in and says, well, actually, the first ever first-person shooter technically was Maze Hunter on the Commodore 64, or whatever that like pixelated game was. There had been a few beforehand. But yeah, Doom was it for me. And you could blindfold me, and I could walk you through, without looking at your screen, where everything is in every single level of Doom. I know it all at the back of my hand. I must have spent more hours playing Doom than I have all of the other games on this list combined. Oh, Bioshock. Nearly. Maybe that'll come up later. Leviticus got it. Doom. Wolfenstein, yeah. Beat me to the punch on that one. Yeah, so Doom. I don't know how many guys here played it when it came out, or what your initial thoughts of it were, or even what you think of it. You know, if you've only played it in recent times, what you think of it looking back, because obviously it's interesting. I do have rose-tinted glasses. I literally have rose-tinted glasses somewhere. But yeah, I'm looking back on this through the mists of nostalgia and with great fondness. So I don't know whether I'm bigging it up too much. Of course, we can't deny it is a cultural turning point in games. And but yeah, whether it's a good game to play with modern eyes from scratch, I don't know. Quake could have gone on the list, I guess. But I think Doom is really the precursor to Quake. I do miss those days when, if you wanted a game of multiplayer, you had to pick up your desktop PC, which weighed as much as a filing cabinet, and take it around your mate's house and plug it in with cables. That was awesome. It wasn't really. Sucked. Yeah, I'm still not seeing any suggestions from you. Well, sorry, you've given a few, but I want to hear. Stop dilly-dallying. I want to hear your number one spot. What is going to be, if you were to create this list from scratch, what would your number one entry be? Or you can give me three if you want. It's really hard to pick. I've struggled with my own list. I first played it on the 64. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, you could get it on the 64, couldn't you? It had some bonus levels, I seem to remember. One was set in a disco. Yeah, I forgot about that. I seem to remember it was a nightmare trying to control it on the N64 controller, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Rabbit Heart says, I think so. I missed the magic. Yeah, it did have magic to it. Don't know what more to say about Doom other than it was magical. Hit the nail right on the head there. Coming up next, guys, while you're listing a few things for your top spots, the next game I'm about to reveal at number 8 on my list for the top 10 museum exhibition of video games. It's a game that naturally followed on from Doom. Came a little bit further down the road, but some would say after Doom came along, this was, for a long time, and some would argue still is, the apex of first-person shooters. I'll leave that to marinate with you while I have a look at Aberclark's suggestion. Number 1 would be Morrowind, then Mass Effect 2, 1, and then 3. Oh, okay, dominated by Mass Effect. I need to get on Mass Effect. I started playing the first one for whatever reason, not because I didn't like it. I stopped playing. Probably just because I think my wife was bored shitless sitting watching me play it, so I kind of turned it off. But I need to get back on it when she goes to bed, because obviously I'm missing out. I'm going to start noting down some of your suggestions. I'm going to put Mass Effect on here. That's the first real contender I think I've seen for the list. Morrowind as well. She'll go on there. I just wrote Mess Effect, which is the same typo you made. Can't see a thing. Mass Effect. Okay, that's it. That's a possible. We can swap out any of my entries with Mass Effect at any time, and I think we probably will do. Oh, someone got it. Leviticus Daniel guessing Half-Life. Absolutely. I was going to put Half-Life 2 in there. I think Half-Life 2 was a better game, but I think we can all agree, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think we can all agree it has been sullied somewhat, that series, with the complete lack of Half-Life 3 coming out, or Half-Life Episode 3, whatever. I think that's rather unfortunate, and I'm annoyed, as many gamers are, that they've not been forthcoming with that. It's gone beyond the point of being funny and teasing. It's been bad as game publishers. They best have a damn good excuse why it's so late, and they best make up for it with some goods. So yes, Half-Life, the first one, is on the list at number 8. I might swap that out with Mass Effect, actually. Yeah, I was going to put Half-Life 2 there, but we've gone with Half-Life 1 just because it really kicks things off. And I think it's aged exceptionally well. Some of the graphics are a bit naff, especially the character modeling, but it still plays exceptionally well. It's still got it's got a great atmosphere. It's got a very visceral feeling, you know, when you hit something with a crowbar, it feels like hitting with a crowbar. The real recoil from the weapons, you know, they just felt fantastic. Level design, I don't think we'd seen better level design in a game up until that point, with the exception of maybe Super Mario, but different genre. So yeah, Half-Life is on the list. But maybe screw Valve for the Half-Life 3 thing. So if we're going to axe anything, I think that might be the one to go. We do already have Doom on there. That kind of covers that line of first-person shooters. Kieran, original Deus Ex probably gets my number 1 spot. The FPS RPG mix blew my fragile little mind at the time. Yeah, we'll reveal it's not on the list. It nearly went on the list. The reason I didn't put it on there, exceptionally innovative game, and especially the way, like you say, it straddled the two genres. I loved that about the game. But even when it came out in 95, 96, the graphics looked like they were drawn on the side of a cardboard box. Everything looked like it was made out of cardboard. It was, I don't know. It was a good game. I don't want to piss on your chips, but I just didn't feel that it was as good as everyone made it out to be. I thought, because a lot of people say, oh, the beauty of that game is you've got so many different ways to go about solving a problem. I don't think you did. You generally only had sneak into a building or run in guns blazing. That was generally the only two options that you had. So I don't think it was quite as open-ended as people say. Good game nonetheless. And I am going to note it down. If people disagree, we can throw that on the list. Maybe that could go in place of Half-Life. Interested to know if you played the second Deus Ex. Sorry, not the second one, the new one, you know what I mean. Human Resources. I enjoyed that. I thought it was good. Shadow Warrior. I don't know if... Hello, Pickle Juice, by the way. Good to see you. It's a name I haven't seen in a while. I don't know if that's a joke suggestion based on one of my earlier videos, the one where I played with my brother and we were trying to distract each other from the game, or whether it's a genuine suggestion. If it is, yes. I wouldn't again put it in the top 10 list per se, but I had a lot of fun with that, Shadow Warrior. I love Blood. There was a game called Blood. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was cool. Those came out around the time as Duke Nukem, and I think they were better. Preferred Shadow Warrior. That game hasn't aged too well either, but God, the fun I had with that. It was so gratuitous in its violence and racist, probably, if you look back on it, but an exceptional game. I did enjoy that. Rabbit Heart, Zelda, Ocarina of Time 2, Super Mario World. It's too hard to choose. Well, even just choosing a Super Mario game is quite difficult. I'm sure you'd agree. Kagachi is in. Hello, Kagachi. What we're doing, mate, is we are discussing our favorite games. So feel free to leave your top 3 or 5 or 10, whatever. I've got my own list here that we're running through, but I'm noting down decent suggestions so that we can swap out some entries and call it a day. So far, we've covered on the list, from my list, Doom. No, start from the top. We have covered Minecraft at number 10, Doom at number 9, Half-Life at number 8. I'm talking myself out of that one. And this brings us to number 7, getting conscious of time. It's a game which was a first-person shooter. God, I didn't think this through, did I? One of these has got to go. It's a game. It's a first-person shooter, but it's specifically catered towards multiplayer. It was the first kind of arena-based combat that was executed well, I feel. It started off, the franchise itself started off just as a first-person shooter, and it was gorgeous at the time. And then it led on to more of a tournament setting. Okay. We've got Super Mario 3, Mario Galaxy. I saw Mario Galaxy on so many different lists when I was doing research, when I was just casually flicking through the internet. And Mario Galaxy 2 was on there more often than not. But yeah, one or the other were on there. I was pleasantly surprised by how good that game was. My wife and I had oodles and oodles and oodles of fun with that. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Mario game, but yeah, both 1 and 2, superb. But maybe we've got a Mario game on the list already. Huh? I'll note that one down just in case we want to swap that Mario title with Galaxy. Oh, my little kind of intro to the next one on the list threw some people off. I know there was a suggestion from Kagachi, Left 4 Dead. Quite possibly. Again, I saw that on the list quite a bit. Leviticus Daniel, Bond. No. Although GoldenEye N64, is that on the list? Quake. No, it's the other one. Unreal Tournament. Unreal Tournament, again, was a game that I had fun modding and I got so much enjoyment out of it. And like I say, it was the first arena-based tournament that did it well. More so than Quake Arena, I thought, which was good in its own right, but Unreal Tournament really had it down pat. So that's that. But again, we've now got Doom, Half-Life, and Unreal Tournament, all kind of shooty. Should they be on there? We've got to get rid of some of them. I'm reluctant to get rid of Doom because that really was the granddaddy of a lot of games. So, guys, let me know in these suggestions which should we get rid of out of Half-Life and Unreal Tournament. I will delete one or the other. We'll leave the space, and then at the end, we will come back and fill it with one of your suggestions, which I'm noting down. So argue it out. Yeah, Half-Life or Unreal Tournament, which should we get rid of? Leviticus Daniel, Banjo-Kazooie. I only have vague recollections of playing that. I hear it's marvelous, but it didn't seem to leave any long-lasting memories with me. I should check it out again. Diablo 2, yes, that's a good game. I'm going to note that one down because we don't really have a game, a strategy game kind of like it on the list. I can reveal that now. So, yeah. Should I move on to the next one? I think I should. All right, Rabbit Heart's saying get rid of Unreal Tournament. Any others? Just as a heads up, if more people kind of come in, and I hope so, a reminder if you haven't already, tweet and post on Facebook or whatever to say you're in this hangout. Get more people in here, and we will. We'll. Sorry, that sentence went nowhere. What was I saying? Sorry. Yes. Just as a suggestion, if you're commenting. Maybe don't just leave a random video game title, because with a delay I won't know what you're referring to, whether you're suggesting one of your favorite titles or responding to me saying let's remove something or whatever. So just kind of clarify with the title there. Most people on that topic are going with Unreal Tournament. Oh no, Rabbit Heart has just gone with Unreal Tournament twice. He's having 2 votes, and that's fine by me. You know what? Yeah, we're going to get rid of Unreal Tournament, I think. As good as it is, and it breaks my heart, off it goes. Okay, Time Splitters is a suggestion from Alexi. Time Splitters 2, man. I'm gonna pop it in right now ahead of time. We can remove it again later, but in that hole I've just created, it's a shame I can't put this on the screen really. In that hole I've just created through deleting Unreal Tournament, Time Splitters 2 is just gone in its place. Does it deserve to be there? Does it not? Who knows? But god damn, I wish they'd make a 3rd one. So yeah, that's gone in there. If you haven't played Time Splitters, you're missing out. Was that on PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2? I have no idea. PlayStation 2, probably. Yes. Oh, the fun we had. And speaking of multiplayer fun, the next game is also from a long-standing franchise. It's violent. It's quite a violent game. Quite a controversial game. Some would say it's one of the most controversial games, up there with, I don't know, Mortal Kombat in terms of its gratuity. It's been banned in many countries. It's got a lot of mothers angry and getting their knickers in a twist. It's a cross blend of many different genres, but it's fairly unique. The series has been going for quite some time, since its lowly top-down PC origins. It is now a full 3D multi-million-dollar budget spectacular. We'll get to that in a moment while I see what's happening. Hopefully people are... thanks, guys. I genuinely appreciate that, because it's the only way we can get new people here. Fart robot approaches. That's terrifying. Rabbit Art's never played Time Splitters. Oh my goodness. Oh, Alexis Mazzaro, there is a third. Is there really? There's a third Time Splitters. Was it any good? When did this come out? Do I know of it and I'm just getting confused? Oh, maybe I meant Time Splitters 3. Future Perfect, is that the one? I reckon I'm just looking at the box cover art. I do recognize that. You know what? I don't think I've played Time Splitters 3. Oh, it's great, apparently. I'll have to look that up. I've either confused myself or I just genuinely did not know it existed. So you, sir, might have just made my day. I have to check that out. But going back to the next entry in the list, Rabbit Heart has correctly guessed it, as has Leviticus, GTA. Yep. And specifically, GTA 5. I can't think of any way they could have improved that game. I think it was 10 out of 10. Absolutely flawless. Yeah, minor gripes at most. I guess maybe the loading screens are a bit long sometimes, but that's minor given the scale of the world, really. I thought it was perfect. I thought the single player was really good. Actually, I think other games in the series have had a better single player mode, possibly 4. Maybe they're on par, but no, GTA 5 as a whole, both the multiplayer and the single player, is just wow. I mean, you can see why they put so much money into it. Fun fact, I was reading, I hope this is true, GTA 5 is the fastest and biggest selling entertainment product of all time. And by entertainment product, I mean out of anything, movies, other things. Yeah, you know, there's other things that people sell. Yeah, out of all the games, movies, music is the other art form I was thinking of. It's the fastest and biggest selling thing that's ever been released. But they've also never let on, or no one knows what the budget was either, so it's hard to determine profitability. But I think we can safely assume the budget was probably hundreds of millions. But yeah, GTA 5, what are people saying? GTA Heists, was that the one that was released for mobile? Correct me if I'm wrong. That was the one that was primarily set in Chinatown. I liked it. I thought for a mobile game, it was very well executed. Mark Leinstro has joined. Hello. GTA 5 was nice. Yeah, made me feel like I was playing a film. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. I don't know. It did the sandbox thing so well. It did the combat thing so well. It did the racing so well. It really was just flawless. And just the fact that you can get up to mischief and the balance that they've got with griefing and leveling up is just clinically perfect. It's right on the line for maximum fun and being noob friendly as well. So that's pretty cool. You guys can join me on Xbox, I guess, and play with me sometimes. I do play GTA 5 quite often still, despite the fact I've had it since it came out. My handle is, I'll type it in the chat. I think you'll see why I'm having difficulty remembering this in a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6 E's in the middle. That's going to look weird to you in the past because you can't hear me talking and explaining why I've just put that in the comments. So that'll blow your mind. Otherwise, GTA 5, just to let you know, there will be something GTA 5 related on this channel quite soon. Got something in the works I'll have to check out. Oh, sorry, Leviticus. Yes, GTA 5 Heist was a mode promised a year and a half ago. True, yeah, the delays with that are getting quite annoying, and I think that's only going to come to next gen now, isn't it? But yeah, GTA Heists is something they need to get cracking with. And God, I would pay so much money to improve the selection of songs. I am sick of hearing the same stuff over and over again. But minor gripes. I only have PS4, don't know if they connect. No, they don't, I don't think. It's a shame. Right, so, Mark, just to bring you up to speed, and anyone else who is just lurking and hasn't commented, we are doing the top 10 list of video games. We've got a list of 10 that I roughly drew up, and we're taking suggestions, and we're talking about games, and we're trying to whittle it down and replace some of my entries with better games. So, if you're watching and haven't already, you can name your favorite games of all time. Of all time. Don't bullshit me, man. Don't give me the kind of, this game's okay, I guess, or whatever. Give me your best games, man. Come on. So, yeah, do that, and I'm jotting them all down and replace items as we go. Time Splitters 2 or 3 or 6 or whatever has replaced Unreal Tournament. Thanks to Alexi, we've knocked that one on the head. GTA 5's in there. If you guys disagree, let me know, and we can delete. In fact, that's a command in the chat, I guess. If you disagree with any of my entries, just say delete, 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 and I'll delete it. Next up is one I'm pretty sure you guys won't want to delete. It's an Elder Scrolls game. I'm not going to waffle on this one. It's Morrowind. I'll make a few people in the comments happy. I don't know why Morrowind. It was a coin toss, really, between that and, well, any of them, I suppose. Skyrim is fantastic. I love it. I think as a game, I actually prefer Oblivion. It felt bigger to me for some reason. And I don't know, I was just more compelled by the quests and the storylines, even though Skyrim is miles better in terms of combat and scenery. Inventory management, magic is vastly improved. But yeah, I think Oblivion is probably my personal favorite, but I went with Morrowind because I think I probably sank more time into that than either of the other two. And it was a game that when I first got it, was the first game I played in the Elder Scrolls series. And I didn't shower for weeks. I didn't see my girlfriend at the time. I think she left me. She just went in the end. I lost all my friends, and I couldn't have been happier. It was awesome. Oh, my wife's watching but can't comment. Hello. I just remembered about this game, but I absolutely loved it. Final Fantasy IX. There probably will be a Final Fantasy game on the list, or will there? Maybe. Maybe I replaced it with something like, I don't know, Chrono Trigger or some other RPG game. Maybe this is the RPG game. Maybe Morrowind knocked it off. Who knows? 9 I didn't play, and I've always wanted to because I've heard fantastic things about it, but I've never had compatible console machinery with which to play it with, which is a shame. I did play Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 13. Let me just check that before I start ranting about a game that isn't the correct one. Yes, Final Fantasy 13. I started playing that the other week. I bought it. It was really cheap. Wow, I hate it. I started off thinking, okay, this is novel. It's very linear. It's very simple. You only control one character, and you've only got like 2 commands to choose from in battle. And I can't choose to go anywhere. It's just a straight path with loads and loads of boss and monster encounters. Yeah. I thought, but I'm intrigued by the story. Maybe things will get better. No, it's just that forever. Just walking in a straight line, fighting a monster. And like I say, the combat is so unengaging. I was bored to tears. So, boo. But I guess Square Enix can't win, really. If they do a combat system that's too complicated, like the one in 8, which I hated. I didn't hate Final Fantasy 8. I didn't like it either. But the combat system, God, I hated that. If they're too complicated, I'll moan about that. If it's too simple, I'll moan about that. So, yeah. I've lost your comments. Guys, where are you? Oh, a lot of love for Final Fantasy 9 going on. A lot of love. Mark, yes, Deus Ex has been mentioned. Did I pop it on the provisional list? Yes, I did. It's on the provisionals, so we can delete something and put that on at the end, if you like. Yeah, a lot of love for Final Fantasy 9. Rabbit Heart hasn't played Morrowind. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I don't think Rabbit Heart would be disappointed, even after having played Oblivion and Skyrim. I think it's aged well. Gameplay Jenny, if you're aware of Gameplay Jenny, go watch her series, I guess. She's been playing that for a while, and she really puts it through its paces, and it's fun to watch. So if you want an introduction to the game before you buy, definitely head over there. Yeah, I think you'll still enjoy it. The magic system's awful. If you like playing as a magician, you will not enjoy that, but never mind. 13's pretty bad. Yeah, God, it sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. Mark, no love for Deus Ex? Sad face. No, I don't think you got to that bit yet. We were on a 30-second delay, but yeah. Love for Deus Ex. I was saying I think it's slightly overrated, which angers people. But, you know, it's on the list. I mean, that's, again, just my subjective opinion. Most people disagree with me, so I'm clearly in the wrong with that. Deus Ex probably deserves to be on the list of the top 10. I still haven't beaten 13. I started when it came out and never finished. When did it come out? Released in December 2009. And worldwide in March 2010. Where are we now? 2015. I didn't need to look at a calendar to know what year it is, but keep going, APH Clark. You will get there, and report back and let us know how you get on. Did Sly Raccoon make the list? What the heck is Sly Raccoon? I've never heard of that, I'm afraid. Look that up right now. Guys, we need to keep on moving because we're nearly going to run out of time here. I can't even find any mention of that game. Was it called Sly Cooper? I don't know, man. A platform stealth game. Reception. Generally positive reviews. Generally positive is not going to make the list, my friend. How far back are we going for good games? As far back as you like. I'm saddened by the lack of good retro games on here. As far back as you want. Like literally Pong, if you fancy. If it's a good game, it deserves on the list. And we do need to address that balance. I don't want it to be all modern games. Saying that, so we've had Doom so far. That's fairly modern. Retro. Time Splitters, nah-ish. The next one is a little more retro. I consider this, and the reason I put it just ahead of Morrowind is because I feel it is... it's the original Elder Scrolls for me. I remember when I played this and it felt like I was in an immersive world as Skyrim. It involves a top-down kind of RPG. Fairly simple RPG. There wasn't much complexity to the leveling up system, but oh, it worked so well. Little chap, green hat. I am talking about Legend of Zelda. But which one? Which one, my friends? Which Legend of Zelda game would you pick for this entry? I don't know if it deserves to be on the list, a Zelda game. Probably, but we do have like Morrowind on there. That kind of covers that sphere. Let me know what you think. Oh, System Shock 2. Ooh, yeah, I'm noting that one down. System Shock 2. See, I was explaining earlier to the people who've only arrived recently, Portal isn't on the list. If it was on the list, it would have just been replaced by System Shock 2 following that little suggestion. So that's definitely on the reserve list of things to replace. Pac-Man is a retro game I own on every system possible. We could go Pac-Man, couldn't we? Oh, A.B.H. Clark is just let him or herself into a whole world of pain by saying, "Bring on the hate, I've never played a Zelda game." Ooh, that's going to get them angry. No, like I say, I've never played a Mass Effect game, so can't play them all. You're taking your life in your hands saying that around these parts. No, Legend of Zelda. I've not played many games in the Legend of Zelda series. I played A Link to the Past, which is what I put on the list when I was a kid on my SNES, and it blew me away. I honestly thought it was the most immersive and fantastical game I'd ever played in all my life up until that point. And I still play it now. I still go back and play it once in a while. It's aged very well. It's got that kind of that SNES era feel to it that just can't be beaten, really. So that's on it. We've got so many comments flowing in. Rabbit Heart, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Yep, that's on there. A Zinc to the Past. Periodic Table of Elements. Abe's Odyssey must be on the list. It's not, I'm afraid. As much as it's probably my favorite PS1 game, I think other things have kind of beaten it out in terms of like mass appeal and cultural significance. Pokemon Red. Okay, your turn to lynch me, guys. I've not played a Pokemon game in my life. I think I played the very first one on the original Game Boy, but I just wasn't of an age really that when my brother was really into it, but I didn't catch on to the Pokemon craze, I'm afraid. I'm gonna pop down Pokemon Red, however, because I know a lot of people would say the same thing. And just because I haven't played it doesn't mean it doesn't deserve to be on the list. So thank you for that one. Pickle Juice, I haven't played a lot of games mentioned. Oh, Mark Kleinstra, Jules, if you're still watching, has just said Day of the Tentacle. I was speaking to her earlier and telling about what we're doing, and she can't comment, by the way. She texted me. And I said, what would you suggest? And she said, Day of the Tentacle. So yeah, there we go. My response to it was, oh, I can list 30 games that are better than it, as much as I love it, but it's a niche game. I don't think that's going to win on votes if we were to take it to a democracy. But I've got to put it down there just to appease my wife, and the fact that two people said it independent of each other is pretty good. Mario Party, the original friendship ruiner. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Pokemon got boring after the Leaf Green and Fire Red series, in my opinion. Pokemon Silver, only one I played and played the bejesus out of it. These are all just words to me. I have no idea. TIE Fighter, was that the one? It was like the wire mesh kind of game where, oh, that was cool, man. And yeah, and you kind of flew around and you had to take out Darth Vader and you had to do the canyon run as well. Yeah, that was cool. It was a very short game. There wasn't much to it, but I loved that. I also loved, in one game I would have in the top 20, it was a game on the Atari where you played a little thing going along the screen and you had to take out walkers. That was all there was to it. But I don't know. I was a child and easily amused, I guess, and I used to play that for hours. That was cool. Rayman, yeah, Rayman was a brilliant PS1 game. Have you played the two recent ones, Legends and Origins? Oh my god, we had so much fun playing those. Absolutely love those games. I think they're Mario contenders. They really are. Let's move on with the list. I'm going to pop Rayman on there as well. Right, so quick recap. We've got Minecraft, Doom, Half-Life, Time Splitters, GTA 5, Morrowind, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. And then we come to, you've been waiting this for a while, Super Mario World. What more can I say? There needs to be a Mario game on there, does there not? I was tempted to put Mario Kart in there, but Super Mario World. Is there any argument that is the best Mario game so far? Again, you guys have your say. In fact, you are having your say. Frogger. Can't go wrong with Frogger. Or Pac-Man. Did I write either of those down? Yeah, Pac-Man. You can't make a list without at least acknowledging Pac-Man. God, that was hard, though. Levi Garner. No, I haven't. I was afraid they would ruin my great memories of it. No, they won't. Honestly, play the new Rayman games. They are an absolute delight. They won't ruin your memories of Rayman. They'll enhance them. I can't recommend them enough. Either of them, they're just as good as each other. So you can pick up either. You don't need to start with one or the other. Just go for it. They'll be fairly cheap now as well. And then Super Mario World, there is no argument. Absolutely. I still believe it is impossible to beat Mario. What you should be doing is trying to beat Bowser, mate. That's where you're going wrong. Yeah, so Super Mario World is up there at number 3. Moving on. This is where we get really divisive, guys. I'm going to whiz through the last two. Got, the last two entries. I will remind you to get your final entries in a moment, just so we can do a little bit of a giveaway. But yeah, this is really going to split some hairs. I'll do these, and then we'll recap on the list. You guys decide which ones you want to delete and which ones you want to replace them with. Here we go. Number 2 on my favorite games of all time. Someone claimed close to mentioning it earlier with an earlier game in the franchise's history. BioShock Infinite. My wife will attest to this. I did not shut up about that game all the time I was playing it and for months afterwards. I have never, besides the one at number 1 of the list, I've never connected on an emotional level with the game quite as much as that. It's got some problems. I'm getting choked just thinking about how much I love that game. I don't know what to say. I am always lost for words whenever I have to try and, particularly if I have to try and describe it to someone who hasn't played it. It's just the most beautiful game ever. And I mean beautiful on every level. Just everything about it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think my thing is I like any game that is narrative driven. That's kind of like my favorite genre, if you could call that a genre. And I think that one was, one of the best narrative driven games I've ever had the pleasure of playing in my life. I still haven't played the DLC yet, which will be a follow-on question from you guys. Okay. No, not getting much disagreement about BioShock Infinite. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was the biggest what the hey at the end, wasn't it? We played it and we got to the end. We were really excited, and the big reveal was coming, and we sat down. Then it happened. No spoilers, by the way, in case you're watching afterwards, or watching now. Yeah, that moment happened. The credits rolled, and we sat there on the sofa in silence, just jaws agape, just while the entire credits rolled. We didn't say a word to each other, just as we tried to comprehend the madness that was the storyline, and the fact that I can't say, the fact that the ending implied that the game never even happened in the first place. I guess I can say that. Yeah, the DLC, I need to play that. I do need to play that. But again, like Levi, I'm scared because I don't want to ruin the original experience. I don't want to see the characters carry on, because by their nature, they don't. And I'm sure that the plot of the DLC explains all that away with alternate universes and such forth. But I kind of don't know. Feels like them bringing out Toy Story 4. Just no. I was happy with the end of Toy Story 3. Postal 2. Yeah, I did enjoy that game, but that was madness. Talking about insanity, that was a crazy, crazy game. It didn't have much long-lasting appeal. I think a lot of the gameplay itself was kind of broken. But conceptually, that was just such an over-the-top game. I did like that. Guys, we need to do, because I need to wrap this up, really. Yeah, the bit with the finger. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I know it's set in Rapture, which I loved as a setting, just as much as I loved Columbia. That was the other thing with Bioshock Infinite, just the racial commentary and political satire and stuff. I just thought it was just so well executed, and it could have been a disaster. I mean, the kind of material that they were dicing with and exploring really just could have blown up in their face, but no, just brilliant. Yeah, the first, actually, sorry, we'll have to move on from Bioshock. Really get impressed for time. What, guys, you decide what you think my number one spot is going to be. You have got 30 seconds from the time you're hearing this now. Have a little go. Yeah, so the person that gets it right first will get a surprise gift in the mail. So go for it now. I feel rotten in saying I've never played Bioshock Infinite. You're robbing yourself of one of the greatest experiences you'll ever have in your life. And I know that sounds like a bold claim. I don't make it lightly. It's a game that will probably, change you. Just your very core. It's high art. It's absolutely bloody amazing. I love Bioshock 1. I hated the ending. Absolutely hated the anti-climax of an ending. It was a non-ending, is what it was, which is a shame because I loved the atmosphere and gameplay mechanics of the first one, but never mind. Mark Kleinstroke was the first one in there with a suggestion in my number one spot. Your favorite game is Pong. No, but I'm damn good at it though. Undefeated Pong champion of all of Englandshire. And now he's trying to change his guess. I might say Pong just to screw with everyone else. Yep, Levi, you get some extra time. We are doing my favorite game ever, top of the list. Get your guess in. I'll give you guys a little bit extra time. And then once I've done that, you can disagree with me and we can change it if need be. Kieran, is it Atari's ET? No, but as I mentioned earlier, I did look through a few different lists that other people had written, and on one particular one, they had put Atari's ET. And I was going down the list and I saw it and I was like, this is a joke article. Must be. And no one mentioned that one in the comments, which was strange. But yeah. I will confirm it's not a Kerbal Space Program, ABH Club, but very, very good guess. It nearly went at number 10 in place of Minecraft, but I thought Minecraft got the wider phenomenon appeal. It would be at number 11, I think, Kerbal Space Program. Just a new genre of gaming, really. It was brilliant. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. Who got it right? He said it with such confidence that it makes me think I may have said it somewhere else before or written about it, and he already knows the answer, like for a fact. Rabbit Heart, Zeke's number 1 is Final Fantasy VII. Indeed it is. Again, I love narrative-driven games, and I can't think of a more engaging, immersive storyline and world than Final Fantasy VII. It was a brilliant RPG. Sure, it's aged a bit over time, and they're taking their sweet-ass time over the HD remake, if that'll ever happen. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII, it just clinched it for me. It's my favorite Final Fantasy game, favorite game of all time, favorite RPG, just favorite thing to play. I think it is the tits. Age of Empires. I've never played Age of Empires. Right, guys. So there we go. Well done, Rabbit Heart. Send me your postal address, if you please, and I will send you something next weekend. Yeah, direct message it. Obviously, don't put it in public. Right, guys. Here is the top 10 list. Let us do this very quickly. Number 10, Minecraft. Number 9, Doom. Number 8, Half-Life. Number 7, I forgot how to count, Time Splitters 2. Number 6, GTA 5. There's too many numbers flying around. Number 5, Morrowind. Number 4, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Number 3, Super Mario World. Number 2, Bioshock Infinite. Number 1, Final Fantasy VII. But in the reserve list, we've got Mass Effect. I'm taking that as a franchise as a whole. Deus Ex, the original. Mario Galaxy. We could swap out Mario World, Mario Galaxy if you want. Diablo 2, System Shock 2, Pokemon Red, Day of the Tentacle, Rayman, Pac-Man. Don't know if there's any I missed, but it's over to you. Which games do you want me to swap, get rid of, say delete plus the game name, and replace plus a list from the reserves, and we'll work that out. Again, I'll run through them again. It's a shame I can't display them on the screen. I'll work that out for next time. 10, Minecraft, Doom, Half-Life, Time Splitters, GTA 5, Morrowind, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Bioshock Infinite, Final Fantasy VII. And the reserve list: Mass Effect, Deus Ex, Galaxy Quest. No, that's a movie. I've just written Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy, Diablo 2, System Shock 2, Pokemon Red, Day of the Tentacle, Rayman, and Pac-Man. Oh yeah, Last of Us. Sorry, I didn't address that. It is worthy of mention. Nearly went in there. The reason it didn't go in my suggestions, I mean, I'm going to note it down. This is one that we can replace it with if you guys want Last of Us in there. I think it's too new. I've not let it marinate enough in me to really reflect on it and think back on it and maybe play it again. So I'm not sure about Last of Us, but over to you guys. Put System Shock 2 in the list. Don't know what to swap out. Kieran played through the first disc of Final Fantasy VII many times over. Rabbit Heart, this is the first time we've won something in a long time. Bless your heart. Bless your little Rabbit Heart. It's not going to be anything substantial, but yeah, I'll get that out to you. Okay. System Shock 2 is going in the list. We are going to get rid of Half-Life. I have decided. System Shock 2 in place of Half-Life. Mainly because we've got Doom in there, which is, you know, the fellow granddaddy of first-person shooters. So System Shock 2 is now in there. I think I'm satisfied with the list. I haven't played everything on it. Neither have I. I've just pulled 10 names out of the hat. No, only kidding. They were my personal favourites. I haven't played everything on it, but the ones I did play are in high enough positions. Yeah, God, there's not enough hours in the day to talk about the order, I guess. But are you guys happy with the things we've got on there? So it's now Minecraft, Doom, System Shock 2, Time Splitters, GTA 5, Morrowind, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario World, Bioshock Infinite, and Final Fantasy 7. Open another beer while we close off here. Just while the guys in the comments are thinking about that, thank you so much for watching, everyone, for taking an hour out of your evening. If you are watching this at home after it's gone out live, do subscribe. Maybe we'll do more of these often. We still need to decide whether we're going to do more of these. I think we should. It's been fun. Yeah, subscribe. Everyone, whether you're watching now or whether you're watching after the fact, give this video a thumbs up. It kind of it helps me out, and it only takes a second. I appreciate that. And lastly, as a closing thought, suggest which exhibitions you want to do next time. Obviously, we'll do books, we'll do movies, list other categories of hangouts we can do. Leave your comments after we're gone here. As long as Bioshock Infinite is in there, I'm happy. I think it's good. I'm satisfied with the list. Everyone's happy. Smashing. Well, that's that. So, for one last time, the ultimate top 10 gaming list. In no particular order, really, but this is the exhibition we have jointly curated for the Top 10 Museum. Minecraft, Doom, System Shock 2, Time Splitters, GTA 5, Morrowind, Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Bioshock Infinite, and finally, no one challenged me, Final Fantasy 7 is in there. As long as Bioshock Infinite and Final Fantasy 7 were there, I was happy too. So we're all good. We've already got some comments for next time coming in. Movies next. TV series. Oh, that'd be a good one, actually. Countries. Yeah. Could do as a special episode, we could do we could do 50 Shades of Grey, as in our favorite shades of grey that we've all seen within our lifetimes. We could do like a 4-hour-long episode. Although that would be pointless because I think we all know that Ashen Grey will be number 1 on the list. So maybe we'll leave that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I have been Zekid, and I'm a professional. Yeah, I'll see you next time. I won't be going anywhere if I can't find where the button is to stop. Let's carry on going. So, next up, my top 10 favourite